best advice that I've ever received in terms of art has been art mat karo. Art mein kuch nahi rakha, art mein paise nahi bante. And that translates to do not pursue art. There's no money in art, and what's the point of pursuing art? This was the best advice ever, not because it was right, but because once I made it in art, not that I was pursuing art to make it in art, because I've been pursuing art since I even knew the meaning of art and money or the vocabulary that these unsolicited advices included. It was the best advice to me because once I embraced going after my passion, once I made it in art, I saw how wrong these people were, and only then I realized that why did it ever impact me in the first place? And it didn't impact me in a way that I stopped pursuing art, but when you keep hearing the same thing, especially when you're young and especially from people around you, and at a young age when you have an impressionable mind, it can really impact you. And it may not impact you into quitting, but it can impact you negatively, that it's some sort of a burden on your mind. And the reason, again, why it was a great advice was because it taught me not to listen to people who have never pursued their passions. Even though I wasn't really asking for their advice, and it taught me to really not listen to people who have never gone after their dreams. I never really listened to cynical people, and never really listened to people who are not creatively curious, and never really listened to people who respectfully are not even from your field. People, when they're talking about art, analyze whether they're even from art. Do they even know about art? And if they know art and if they're from art, they wouldn't be giving you this advice in the first place. There's something deeply unsettling about people passionately trying to discourage people from following their passion. There's something about people following their passion that bothers people, especially when you're talking about art. No matter what field professionally I would be in, I would be pursuing art. I was pursuing art even when I was working in a juice shop at 15, when I was working at an art store while pursuing neuroscience in undergrad. And art has been a constant companion for me. Even when I am 90 years old, or however old I will be, I will still be pursuing art. And that is the reason why it wasn't that I first chose art as a profession and then I started. It was that I was already in love with art and I had this relationship with art, and therefore I kept going with it, and then it became something that I am working in. And so I was pursuing art even when I wasn't doing it professionally. Because of art that I've been able to sustain and survive. And in this world, money is not the only tool that you need in order to sustain. So even if I was doing another job and I was in another profession, I would still be pursuing art. And I may not be doing it professionally, but I remember when actually in the most difficult stages of my life has art been the most important tool. And 12 years later, I'm grateful, lucky enough to say that art is the thing that I love, but it's also the thing that pays my bills. I personally believe that every being is creative. Art may, specifically visual art, may not be your thing, but there could be another creative thing that you like to do. Music, writing, performance, filmmaking, painting, drawing, poetry, architecture. There are so many different forms of art, and here's my unsolicited advice to you. If art is your thing and art is your true calling, pursue it. And so they said, don't pursue art, and I'm saying, let's pursue art forever.